Alright guys, we're about to start the founder panel. Everything is set up. I appreciate all you guys for being so patient. Guys, we need everybody to be quiet. We're starting the founder panel.
Guys, we are a tech startup, and I figured it's best to be as transparent as possible. Obviously, we bootstrapped this whole thing, and the budget for this event was $0. There are going to be technical difficulties, and if you do want to support us and you want to help us hire more people for the next event so we don't have to deal with stuff like this because the events are blowing up like crazy, go ahead and reach out to me in my email down below. Now back to the video.
Thank you. First off, I wanted to thank everybody who did come out here. And if you guys are able to scoot up, there's some people that aren't able to actually view everything that's going on. I know it's a little bit squished, but just bear in mind, we got people who also want to be able to see in the back. So first off, as you guys know, if you guys do know me, I do like to always speak from the heart, and I never like to write anything down because, to be honest, for me, it just makes things harder. But I felt like I had something important that I wanted to share, and I wanted to be able to say it in a structured way and make sure that I get everything across. Hey guys, we're gonna need the people in the back to be quiet or you're gonna have to leave. That's just the truth. We gotta respect all the people that are up here that spent their time, that are gonna give you guys knowledge to help you progress your career. Not trying to be an asshole, you guys just gotta, show a little bit of respect in the back. So what I wanted to do, and the thing that I wrote was, I first off wanted to give a round of applause for Angela. She's the founder and CEO of AI Furnace, which is the largest AI founder and investor community in the world. They have over 15,000 members currently. You are a badass, you are so powerful, and I appreciate you because without you and the chance that you took on Johannes and I last year, we came to speak at her event. And some of you guys were there as well and able to see that. And today we're able to partner with her and throw this event with her. So I want to give her a round of applause. And so I'm sure you guys don't want any of that sappy stuff. You guys are here to see and hear what they have to say. So now let's go ahead and get started with the panel. Keep in mind, the marketing budget for this event was $0, so we only have one microphone. So if you have an issue with the fact that, we gotta pass it down, if you're an investor, write a check, otherwise keep your mouth shut. So I'm gonna start off. We're gonna let everybody basically go ahead and introduce themselves, and then we'll go ahead and start with the questions.
A wired one at that. A wired one. This is gonna be interesting. I think I introduced myself to most people in here, or at least I tried. I'm Johannes, I'm the founder and CEO of Tapped. I'm terrible at intros. I build cool things in music and tech, and if you have any questions about AI, I could probably help answer them, technical or not.
Hi everyone, I'm Akash. I'm head of product at Chartmetric, which is a music analytics company. We at Chartmetric basically provide music data to labels and artist managers to find new talent and to develop their talent. I worked in tech for the last 15 years. I'm pretty excited to share my thoughts here.
How's everyone doing? Yeah. So my name's Austin. I'm the founder of D-Birds Connect, as you can see from the hat. And we're a geographical discovery search engine for the creative economy.
Hi everyone, I am Alicia Outridge. I have been working in the music and tech industry since Katy Perry kissed the girl and liked it. Do not look up the year because I'll lie. And I said AI machine learning. That means everything that you think is new, I've seen it, I've done it. I built something and sold it at Facebook, Apple, what was the other companies? iHeartMedia, and most recently I was a Chief Technology and Product Officer at TuneCore. So I know a lot about AI machine learning, but most importantly, building successful companies, products, and teams. So.
Hi everyone, I'm Angela Mascarenas. I'm the founder of Local AI, which is a company focused on deepfake detection and new threats caused by generative AI. We do things related to identifying new types of fraud that are caused from Gen AI through audio, and also preparing companies on how to deal with this new type of risk. I actually started the AI Furnace as a way to meet other AI founders, other researchers, other AI brain trusts to build our company here in New York City. And the AI Furnace is a result of that. And in just 9 months, we've grown to over 15,000 people. We're in 4 countries, 5 cities, have requests open up in 15 cities around the world, and so really excited to be here and share my insights.
What's up, guys? My name is Owen Smith. As you can see, I'm much younger than everybody else. So this is my first time speaking, John. Hope we can share some knowledge. I am the head of partnerships at Tapped. Thank you to Johannes and Ilias. You guys are amazing people. I have a background strictly in music, so half the things these people are going to say go over my head, but I'm here for them. We have some wonderful people on the panel tonight. We have some wonderful people watching. If you want to get connected into music or Tapped or in any way, please hit me up after. We'll get you guys connected. We'll make this thing work.
Some legends here. Yo, how's it going, everyone? No energy? Ready? There we go. What's up, everyone? My name is Meg Vicaria. I'm the CEO of SignalPOS. We're an automated marketing platform that helps anyone grow their audience through smart AI-powered marketing. I spent around 10 years of my career in music marketing, working with folks like SZA, Travis Scott, Future, a bunch of major label artists, and then essentially took everything we learned and automated it to a platform that any artist can use to grow themselves. So excited to have it, y'all.
Hopefully next year we don't have to do the whole baton toss, but I guess another question we have too is, I'm sure a lot of you guys are worried about AI. It's like scary, it's looming over your head. You're like, am I gonna have my job 3 years from now, 5 years from now? It's a little bit of a turn, but I heard some people asking about it earlier today. Do you think that AI is going to replace all their jobs in here? Does anybody have a take on that?
All of you are going to need new jobs. I'm not joking. Like when, okay, at some point, is this low?
It's on, we're turning it up.
Okay. At some point, I mean, ask you that question now, and I've worked at a lot of companies. Go look on LinkedIn. I will tell you, you need new jobs. You need new skills. You have to skill up. You can't just walk around staying on horses and we go invent cars and you go, I like horses. I like mining coal. I'm just going to keep doing this coal mining thing. It doesn't work, okay? You need new skills. Skill up. And you better do that every 1 to 2 years or you will not be able to keep up. Sorry.
So, as I mentioned, I run New York City is like New York City's largest AI community, and I can tell you, like from my experience of seeing the AI startups they're presenting, they are literally replacing jobs. So, I am seeing startups where they're replacing first-round recruiters, and you're actually getting interviewed by an AI, and the AI is assessing whether you're going to move to the second round. I'm seeing examples where, in game development, for example, where they're taking writing and they're making that into a fully playable game instantly. So they're wiping out game development studios entirely, and it's instantly being created. So one of the perks and pros and cons about like seeing this is that you're seeing jobs totally kind of change. And there's going to be different phases. So for example, you're going to find companies where you're going to learn about prompt engineering, and that's new. But that is also like one part of it, and jobs are changing. So I actually really recommend coming to our events, making that opinion for yourself, and seeing how this technology is kind of changing the space so that you can understand like where the opportunities are going to be. I think the fact that all of you guys came here is a really good sign of that you want to learn, you want to see where the area is going and how it's going to affect your area. So I really recommend forming your own opinion about it, but my opinion is similar to Alicia's, where I think that jobs are totally going to change, and it's up to you guys to see where you want to fit on the spectrum.
So my job is a lot different than everybody else's up here. I'm not a coder. I'm not somebody who sits behind a computer and kind of creates the future from my laptop or through any other softwares. My entire background is in artist relationships, management, and label relationships. So it becomes a very different scene. It can easily be taken over by AI. But when it comes to human relations and the whole aspect of art and the intimacy that comes with art, I don't feel like that's going to be taken over by AI anytime soon.
So everybody who is paying attention, we need your help. I need you to turn around and look at the people who are talking and tell them to quiet down or leave the room. Just out of respect for everybody here. So let's put a pause until we look at everybody who's talking, and I need all you guys to tell them to shush, and then we'll be able to go ahead and continue the event. Look guys, if you're in the back, I love that you guys are networking. That's the purpose of this event. But right now there are people that are taking time out of their day or traveling so they can help people here. So please, if you want to talk, there's no fault. Just go outside and you can network there. But there are people who are listening inside, so please, let's respect their time. The door's back there. Thank you.
Yeah, I think I was done. But pretty much, I think art is going to be very, very difficult to be taken over by AI because of the intimacy that humans have within art. So yeah.
I think intimacy has changed. 15 years ago, we didn't think that we would just swipe right in some app and fuck someone a few hours later. They didn't know what it was. But like, we also have signed like AI artists that are insanely viral. Multi-million. Universal has signed AI artists. I think the challenge is, because I agree with you, that like art is not something that's going to be replaced by AI, and human connection isn't something that's going to be replaced by AI. But it's expanding and changing for how we connect. And I think that there's a lot of opportunity for artists to be able to make more money as like revenue models are changing to expand, so that artists can sort of have their own, they can own their digital identity and monetize their digital identity. Because the way that a lot of artists make money now is through tours. And like going on tour, and it is insanely stressful to like go on tour. It's a bane of their existence, but it's the way that they make money. And like having like selling merch. Physical merch is very expensive to like handle the supply chain for. And like there's tools to do that, but then virtual merch is also opportunity. So I think like the digital identity and the virtual merch opportunities is like scales more opportunities. And we have to make sure that like that is artist centric, and it's not something that you have like some geek in some garage going like, hey, I think likes are the same online as they are in person. Because they aren't.
I could not agree more with that. I mean, part of why I joined TAP is because of that AI capability to go ahead and form those tours and work tours and venues, right? Like that's the whole reason we as a company exist. So I couldn't agree more with that. And when it comes to signing those artists that are AI to multi-million-dollar labels, it has happened. I'm not sure you guys remember, but I think it was like in 2020, I think the first AI, he got signed to, what was it, Capital. He got signed to Capital, and then they got dropped because the people had a revolt. That's happening all the time. And I'm sure Meg can tell you, like, how many of the top 5 Billboard right now are mostly AI streams? Probably all 5? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and say, I don't work with any of the top 5 artists right now, so I can go ahead and say, I'm pretty sure they're all top 5 have majority AI stream. When it comes to how music is streamed and how that online presence is formed, it's a catapult, right? Because people right now, they want to join in with the cool club, right? If you see somebody wearing a really cool brand, like let's say Denim Tears, or some other like Nike, or something along those lines, you're gonna want to buy it because you want to be a part of the cool club. You want to be what's trending, right? So if there's an artist that's popping up, oh, this song's going viral on TikTok. Oh, this song's popping up US charts. Oh, this guy actually sounds really cool. They're gonna start buying in. So AI can definitely lead to a part in which you start forming massive human intimacy and connection because that AI foundation was led to make you seem cooler than you are, which is by far what happens in music every day. From artists that pop out of nowhere to artists that are multi-billion-dollar platinum Grammy award-winning artists, both have such intense AI integration right now that their entire fan base, like 50%, really is. You can see the difference after an album that has used AI, after an artist uses AI to get popping, and it's like, oh, I don't need this anymore, I have real fans. You can see their album sales dropping by half, easily. Like, it's so quickly. They're not as cool as they really think they are because of that AI foundation. So I 100% agree with you. AI is taking over and is changing music. Every single molecule of what the industry is has been changed by AI. Hopefully for the better, absolutely, because there's plenty more ways to make money. I'm gonna shut up, I see you raising your hand. There's plenty of more ways to make money and grow fans, and it will definitely be for the better, especially with touring. Shout out Tapped. But yeah.
So I'm a bit of an optimist when it comes to jobs. So I see the landscape of AI going from occupations to vocations, and that was some of the inspiration that gets incubated Diverse Connect. So a bit about my background: I worked at record labels, so I definitely understand the music landscape. I used to work at Rock Nation, Sony, currently at Warner. At the same time, I used to be an NFT project manager. I was a financial analyst at a certain point and a developer. Developing the website that we have here, and my background with the human interaction from different industries, I was able to basically synthesize all of my experience from people and technology to provide a medium for creators, more specifically the creative economy, to interact with each other. Because there's a lot of interaction between music, fashion, social media, entertainment, design, and tech. And that's just the creative side. When you go to the companies too, whether you're a publicist, a sponsor, sponsorship company, advertising, venues, touring, etc., there's a lot of moving parts. And this is where, now that AI is implemented into everyone's daily lives, occupations, in terms of being an entity or corporate America, isn't really necessary. But now all of the power for your time is in your own hands, and the output for what you do with that AI you can reap more of the benefits instead of clocking in 9 to 5 and having a reliance on a paycheck where there's 365 days a year and you're being paid 26 times every 2 weeks. So that's where, at least with Diverse Connect, that's where you can discover different opportunities with different people, whether you're a Web3 artist who specializes in putting your music on NFT marketplaces, or you're a stylist and now you have digitize your clothing, and you want to find the right person who's in publicity and can do the proper advertising. Now the power for your jobs are in your own hands, and it's not necessarily replaceable. You just have more control of your time.
Hey guys, we gotta do a noise check again. If you see somebody who's talking, just give a look at them, just tell them to shush. Otherwise, just leave the room, because we're about to have the next question. And the next question is actually for Meg. I wanted to ask you this. There are a lot of artists in this room right now, and I know you've been able to help, or your software itself has been able to work with a lot of big artists. What do you think has worked for them specifically? And if you want to talk about some specific stories, that's completely up to you, but I wanted to hear a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I feel like the game has changed. I came into music in 2016, right when SoundCloud was popping up. And I was just doing digital marketing for the last 10 years and seeing the waves, right? Everything has changed so much. It was SoundCloud, then it was Instagram, blog era, then it was early TikTok, and literally all TikTok. And then now we're almost in a post-TikTok era where everything is so saturated. Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, Twitter. We're almost back into this thing. One of my first projects in music was Roll Out for CCR Lyricism. That was an exercise in really deep storytelling. And what happened when the saturation hit the masses in 2020, 2021 is storytelling is the backseat to the algorithm. So you make content, you put it out there just to catch the algorithm, and you might have a little pop song that you made just to catch the algorithm that pops out. And we saw a lot of artists that came out like that in 2021, 2022 that kind of did this and did this, really. And so when I'm talking to independent artists, in the last 2 months, we've helped Can't Dance from Tinashe with Nasty, James Blake's first independent release, Ice Spice, Cash Cobain. The thing I see that works, and there's a lot of hype in the industry. We all know it. Superfans is a repackaging of e-commerce. It's a repackaging of D2C. We love buzzwords in music. We love buzzwords in the industry. It's the same fundamental business concepts that have been around for 40, 50 years. And I think music tends to lose its way every 2 years by hyping on the hype train until the hype train is saturated, consistent. So I think what I'm seeing now, especially for a lot of these artists that are coming out the gate, is this concept of super fans, this concept of really building your marketing funnel is kind of coming back to fruition, where artists are thinking about music and songs not as the end all be all money anymore because there's not that much money in it. Music, songs, content are just the top of funnel for awareness. And then from there, they start getting creative and strategic about how you collect fan data and double down on that. Two examples, Tinashe, she's going crazy right now for the song Nasty. Her biggest song yet, just does 1 million streams a day. That rollout started on Symphony 4 months ago. The way it started is, on Symphony, are you guys familiar with pre-save campaigns? Love it, use Symphony. But it started out 3 months ago because the way they did it was very strategic. They rolled out the first single from her project. She collected all these email addresses, these pre-saves. The next thing was like, all right, how do we continue the story by rewarding the people that gave email addresses? So she did an exclusive digital show just for folks that gave her their email address. So now those folks are in that little network, like, yo, I pre-saved, I got this exclusive little show, they're posting on Twitter, they're talking about it. Now the folks that didn't pre-save are seeing that, like, damn, I should have pre-saved, I should have been in that little group. Next pre-save, she rolled out, next single she rolled out, double the pre-saves. Because she showed that social proof to her fans that, yo, like, if you give me more of your data, and if you come down funnel with me, this marketing funnel, you will get rewarded. And that is where we're at with music marketing today. It's like we're very much at a young place where you can throw everything against the wall. We process hundreds of thousands of dollars in advertising budget from artists every single month. But what I think works today is not any one thing, it's a philosophy how you do marketing. It's like any other business, you have your top of funnel thing you put out there. And you gotta figure out the easiest, most seamless way to get people to give you their data, and it will work that way. And that rinse and repeat is how you have Tinashe, Cash Cobain, a SZA, a lot of these artists. It's a long process, but it's a rinse and repeat of traditional marketing philosophies.
I had a question for Akash as well, because he works for the leading music data analytics company. And so I wanted to change this conversation a little bit more towards data and Chartmetric. What do you think, personally, and try to be a little bit unbiased, but what do you think makes Chartmetric so special and helps so many music industry professionals and artists be able to stay ahead of the curve? Because you are the VP of product, you're able to oversee everything. What do you think it boils down to?
So, by the way, before I worked at Chartmetric, I spent many years working with data and working on products. And there's a pitch that a lot of the data companies have sold to businesses of self-service business intelligence, self-service analytics, right? As if everyone's going to be able to analyze the data without any help. And that was a lie for 20, 30 years, because you always need a team of specialists to help you make sense of data, to connect all the dots, to put it all together. So the role that Chartmetric plays in the music industry is we do not just collect the data from the different sources, particularly social and streaming. We connect all of that together and we get to the level of insights and actions that labels and artist managers need to take in order to find new talent and to develop their existing talent. And because we're talking about AI, I do think that the role that AI is going to play is finally making some of these promises from 30 years ago a reality. Not maybe to, like, it's not going to happen overnight, but I do think a lot of the analytics and a lot of the ability to answer questions without having to wait for 2 weeks or 2 months or 6 months is going to happen sooner than later. So yeah, I would say self-service analytics is on its way.
I was going to say, that reminds me of like the software 2.0 thing, where instead of just giving like every time I do this when I'm building Tapped, every time I'm like, okay, we're gonna have this screen. Well, what it's gonna take for a user to be able to see this nice, beautiful thing that they are hopefully gonna get value out of, right? Well, they have to go through this form and this form and this form and this form, and we need this little bit of data from them, and it's like, okay, we need all these things, and then we can get the nice thing that they want. But to your point of like, maybe self-service might be a thing, we skip, and every time I make a form, I'm like, can I use AI to just like automate this and get rid of it? Even if it's like 95% close, so the user doesn't have to do some form or some action, like, can we just automate this out? To make it as self-service as possible, really.
Yeah, exactly. And also a lot of times it's not just a one-to-one conversation. Like you ask a question, you get an answer, and you're like, I'm done. It doesn't end there. Like one answer actually leads to more questions that you want to answer, and those questions take another 2 weeks, another 4 weeks, another 6 weeks, and more people and more time. I think that's the level of efficiency that we'll, as data companies, will be creating in the music space and other industries.
First off, shout out to our metrics, big fan. I think the self-service thing is because the data problem for anyone today is very multifaceted, right? Say you're an artist manager. You got $1,000 to spend on your release. You're like, I don't know marketing. I've never run ads. I don't even know how to read these 50 different platforms after manage, right? So it's like you can aggregate, which chart metrics is the standard thing, right? There's knowing what to pull, step one. Then there's pulling it consistently enough to make and recognize patterns, step two. Then there's analyzing it to actually pull out real, insightful information that's not just fluff. Because I can throw data at anyone, and it's got to mean something in context. The data for the sake of data is not meaningful. Data with context is meaningful. And then from there, it's like, cool, like now you know all the data, for example, I'm going to use you as an example. Now you know who your audience is, where to target. Then it's like, where? Now that I know my audience is, how do I actually grow them? What are the steps it takes? That's a whole set of organic paid marketing strategies. Then there's like, where I ran ads now. Were these good or bad? Like, did this hit? Why did it hit? Why did it not hit? And then it's like, cool, I ran these ads, and now it's like, did it work? Like, do I do it again? This is a can of worms to open, right? When you try and build self-service marketing intelligence or just data, period. And I think we've historically done a really good job of using it at the aggregation layer and the insights layer, but it's always been artist services teams, like people you hire or your manager actually does the work from that data. So the way we build Symphony is like we have all those elements integrated with chart metrics, so shout out y'all. But then we took all the actual levers to execute marketing, link in bio, CRM, running ads on every social media platform. We already have all the data. We now have the levers. The next stage for us when we're thinking about AI is how do you teach AI to use the levers in the right way, give them the data. And then you automate the marketing agency. So that's what we're building out on our side. Very data-centric as a starting point, but actionability using AI. But it starts with having the levers centralized first.
I'm just gonna hype Meg up real quick. I work with, in my career, I've probably worked with at least like several hundred artists, and just helping them with their campaigns, working with marketing, working with rollouts, working with how to keep a rollout even after it's rolled out, and keeping that entire hype. Because you can't just drop the project and then be like, it's dropped, I'm done. You gotta add a whole lot more to it, make the fans continue to come back to it. It's a whole process. But the number one thing I go is, okay, how can I integrate Symphony into what I'm doing? Just because the user interface on Symphony does exactly what you said, it's like you want it to do. I sit back and whenever I'm looking at, do I want to sign an artist? I actually run them through Symphony to see their growth in different categories, all their data that's used through Chartmetric, and see everything like, okay, so it's been charting this time, what happened at this time? Oh, okay, this happened. And it does it in such a simplistic way that the visualizers just make my job easier for me. So that's my spiel, but pretty much you're doing everything that I think any artist manager or anybody in music should look at and go, oh shit, this is more than just a helpful tool. This is one of those things that's not only gonna make my job easier, it will make my career if I use it correctly, which it has mine.
Alright guys, so we're gonna wrap it up. If you guys are interested in talking to any of them, feel free to come up, don't be shy. They're more than willing to be able to talk to you guys. And appreciate all you guys for coming down towards the end and everybody who was still listening. And we are gonna be doing another event next month. So if you guys are interested in that, just check online, tappedai on Instagram. Appreciate everybody. QR code's right there as well.
Real quick, we have a GoFundMe for an artist. His name is Perry Mason. He's a friend of Tapped. He's a friend in the artist community. Everybody's been rallying behind him. He currently has cancer. It has leukemia, correct, Josh? Osteosarcosis, my bad. Yeah, sarcoma. Sarcoma. He has cancer. He has cancer. He's in the hospital, and he is making music in the hospital currently. In his bed is his only form of like therapy for him at this point. If you want to go ahead and donate to his GoFundMe, help this kid out. How old is he? He's 22, and he's dealing with cancer and making music out of his hospital bed. So if you want to help him out, please donate. We'll find a way to go ahead and post maybe the GoFundMe link. So follow us on Instagram, scan the QR code, we'll get it to you guys.